All right, welcome back. You're watching Liquid Lunch on Biz TV. I'm John Tobacco, and on Money Mondays, we try to bring on talk about your portfolio, talk about what's happening in the world, of course, look at alternative investments, but we also bring on the money guests that get your week started the right way, and we try to hit a lot of topics all in the same day. So this guy's joined us before. He's a fantastic guest. I was just amusing him with some of my conspiracy theories in the waiting room. But Mike Daugherty is the president of LabMD, an Atlanta-based clinical and anatomic medical laboratory, and the CEO of AnyLabTestNow in Virginia. Sounds like you're in the right business right now, my man, because I was watching the president yesterday on with Chris Wallace, and I thought the president gave him a pretty good beatdown. But he's talking about we're doing the most testing in the world. So, are you guys involved in any of that federal funded testing or anything like that, or?
We do antibody testing, and we interact with patients. We don't let anyone with symptoms in right now. I actually have an RV that has been licensed by the state of Virginia that I'm bringing up. It's in the shop, but as soon as that happens, I'll get others. But I will tell you that I've never seen, and I've been in medicine since 1984, and I have never seen this basically of sending the entire public to medical school. And that's what's going on here, because it's such a rush. It's like everyone's been diagnosed with the same disease, basically. Everyone's acting like it. And so you have all instead of going to some sort of medical journal, everyone's going to television, and politicians are practicing medicine, and so then you have know-nothing, anchors that are spinning, and you basically have an unbelievable. Instead of anyone moving toward scientific fact, you've got a bunch of campaign managers disguised as TV correspondents trying to play gotcha, and it's terrifying. It's a huge disservice to the public. And we get tons of calls of people that are just flat out confused. And so, what does one test do? Are the antibody tests good? I mean, just people don't know what to do. How contagious is it? This whole thing on hydroxychloroquine drove me crazy, because I'm like, look, number one, it works. But the bigger issue is there's nothing to lose if it doesn't. When everyone was in a panic in March and April, it works. I mean, and Henry Ford just came out with a study. What bothered me wasn't so much that potentially it didn't work, but I knew the people that were bad-mouthing it were bad-mouthing it for political reasons, and that's outrageous. And we as a public have got to have a memory on this stuff. They don't care about lying, because they know we have the attention span of a tweet. And people are using this whole disease for their political advantage, and
hang on. I want to stop you there, because I tend to play a medical doctor on TV from time to time, and I make like I know what I'm talking about because I read a bunch of articles. But the one thing that was hidden, little nugget that was hidden in there, is you said it works, but even if it doesn't, it can't kill you, right? And I have a couple of friends who are pharmacists and said, hey man, I got a load of this stuff in my compounding facility. All my lupus patients get it and everything else. And my buddy said, you should take some of this crap and take it with some quinine water and some zinc, and you should be okay, which I did for a while. I still have about a case of tonic water laying around my house. But in your medical expertise, there is some prophylactic value to hydroxychloroquine.
Well, yeah, and here's why. Number one, it's cheap. Number two, it's plentiful. Number three, it's been around forever. See, this around forever is a big deal. That's why we're not going to have a vaccine immediately. We have this entire culture of people that are expecting everything to be immediate, and they've never really been sick before. So it's a perfect storm of these spoiled brats going, why aren't I fixed now? And if their great-grandparents were alive, they'd smack them, because this is nothing compared to tuberculosis, polio, and everything else. And, and then guess what? And then you've got the media, which are campaign managers against Trump, fanning the flames of fear and anxiety. No matter what happens, everything is used for the wrong reason, to destroy Trump. And the fact that they'll use this as a tool to destroy Trump instead of save people's lives outrageous. And if you vote for Biden, that's what you're voting for. That entire network, that whole regime, and its tentacles that go through academia and Hollywood and the media and politics, and not just Democrats, basically all of them.
And by the way, Mike, I echo all of your sentiments completely, but you know, if you don't vote for Joe Biden, you ain't black. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's like they're almost at the same time where I saw Trump say, what I should have done was come out and said, never use hydroxychloroquine. It's terrible. It might kill you. And he said, if I said that, then they would have said the opposite. Why wouldn't he let everyone have it? It's almost like he has to do reverse psychology on them.
And it's sick, and hopefully the public is observing this, and they read the Henry Ford's, like, you know, the entire world's looking at, like, oh, what does WHO say, or what does whatever the Center for Disease Control says, and here comes Henry Ford, which in the medical world is a very, very well respected place, and they're like, hey, it works. Here's our clinical data, you know, and here's the thing: what do they do when they're wrong? They shut up. Do they change? No. They just move on to the next thing. It's all a machine of projection and lying to win political power. And what you're witnessing is nothing is outside of their grasp for this. They'll exploit your whatever for your health, they'll exploit it. For your race issues, they'll exploit it. For your sexual stuff, they'll exploit it. For your abortion stuff, they'll exploit it. It doesn't matter to them. It's all.
Let me ask something. In your opinion, you know, I've known the name Fauci for years. You know what I'm saying? I'm you know, half Italian, half Irish guy. So, you know, I'm proud of anybody with a vowel at the end of their name that gets to a position of greatness, like Mike Pompeo, Anthony Fauci, right? So, you know, I was just immediately was like, all right, we got an Italian guy in there. That feels good. And then I started to watch him more and see the mistakes that were being made. And I know he's one of the most respected guys around, but it sure seems like he is way more political than anyone has ever known about him.
Because he's been in the government for decades. And also no science guy is going to be the master of getting on national television that much. And all you got to do is take what he said for over the months and watch it change. That makes sense, because here's the big thing. There never, ever has been, and there never will be an absolute in medicine, period. And so anyone that gives an absolute is irresponsible and a fraud.
Charlatan. Now, they used to call him snake oil salesman. There's no absolutes in life. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, they have very few taxes and death, you know?
You don't have much life experience. You think, oh, okay. And if you buy into that triangle of victim, villain, savior, you know, and you've got no experience, you believe that guy's a boogeyman. It doesn't, you know, light bulb doesn't go off your head till your mid-30s. You know, it's scary. So what bothered me about Fauci immediately was hydroxychloroquine. Immediately. I mean, that is when I went, okay, I don't like this guy.
The thing that I when I did some homework and I saw how widely used hydroxychloroquine was, I arrived at the same kind of conclusion as you, without the medical expertise you have, that, well, the one thing these trials need to establish is what else is this going to do to the person? Is it going to kill him? Is it going to, right? You know, hydroxychloroquine was so widely used and so cheap that it wasn't killing people for years, so it can't hurt. We got like a minute left. This Moderna vaccine induced adverse reactions in more than half the participants. What does that mean?
Okay, look, that means that we should have a bunch of vaccinations going at the same time, testing them, because no matter where we get with all of them, the skids are going to hit once we start testing it on humans. And chimpanzees with COVID-19 don't get as sick, don't react the same. Okay, you have to understand that one severe reaction out of 1,000 people would mean 300,000 severe reactions if we vaccinated the country. That's insane. That's more severe reactions than we have deaths. So I'm trying to go, vaccine's not a cure. B, it's just another one of the defenses, but medication's going to be, it's just like AIDS. Is there an AIDS vaccine? No. Is it a big death threat now? No. Why? A drug, you know, I don't know, battle, a drug, you know, series of medications that work on some people don't know. That's what's going to do this. It's going to, and we're already starting to slow it down. You know, they're screaming, so many tests, so many diseases. Look at the deaths that are happening that are not happening.
I call it the survival rate is 99.94, so it's pretty good. But
we pulled back the grade.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. All right, we got to leave it there, Mike. Thanks so much. You got to join us again. This guy tells it like it is. He's one of our money guests, Michael Daugherty. Thank you so much. And he's the president of LabMD and the CEO of AnyLabTestNow. So if you need any lab tests, go to this guy. At least he supports our president. We'll take a quick break, come back with some more news of the day right after this, and pizza and submarines and all that good stuff.